But in lieu of typical ingredients, typical add-ons like dried shrimp or minced pork, we got sheep brain here. In a few recent videos, I've talked about how your body is affected by internal coldness and hotness as per the tenets of traditional Chinese medicine, and how autumn, winter is prime time for crabs, and how crabs would imbue your body with internal coldness, and how you could compensate for that coldness by consuming foods with hotness, such as mutton, and how Jiangsu mutton is one of the local mutton cuisines of Suzhou. You can find Jiangsu mutton restaurants all over Suzhou. They're everywhere. There are not one or two, but several at the shopping mall where I work out. Despite the availability, I've always wanted to visit the town of Cangshu to try the real deal. Well, here we are in the eponymous town of Cangshu, where there is no shortage of mutton restaurants, such as this place that we're going to go to, 新东方羊肉店. It is operated by the third generation now. According to the restaurant's promo video on 大众点评, the proprietors are the Yang family. That family name has the exact same pronunciation as the word for mutton, Yang. Maybe they're destined to be masters of cooking the Yang. The Yang I'm talking about here is none other than Cangshu Yangrou, the Cangshu mutton. So Cangshu Yangrou, Cangshu mutton is not a dish, but rather a cuisine comprising several different dishes, at the center of which is this Yangrou mutton soup. Some restaurants like here, they call this bai shao, literally white cooked, meaning plain cooking, as in minimal seasoning. But with minimal seasoning, how do you conceal the gaminess of the mutton? You don't. You eliminate the gaminess. The secret here is the pentang. The promo video also stresses using pentang. It is a wooden tub. The pentang is probably somewhere in the kitchen, so I couldn't see it. But a few days ago, I saw this one at a small shop in downtown Suzhou. Pentang is made from a kind of spruce, fir, or redwood that can absorb and eliminate the gaminess of the mutton. In terms of mutton, historically a breed called huyang was used. This is Mongolian sheep brought to the Lake Tai area centuries ago. They're raised on a mix of grass and mulberry leaves, since the Suzhou, Huzhou, Hangzhou area is well known for silk. That's why the sheep is called huyang, meaning lake sheep or Huzhou sheep. The animal became acclimatized to the hotter climate here and evolved into the huyang breed of present day. I'll write more about this and the history of Cangshu mutton in the description section. However, huyang is hard to find at restaurants today. The popular choice in ingredients is meat from the north. Ingredients may have changed, but what hasn't changed is the focus on natural essence. Hongsha or red cooking is common, but I think the plain white cooking method is still central. You can see the soup really is white. Free flow for the soup, by the way. Traditionally, only salt is added to the soup during cooking to maximally preserve the natural, original flavors of the meat. Another dish that exemplifies the original flavors of the mutton is this, Yanggao mutton aspic. Mutton aspic is made basically by adhering to the same white cooking concept. Normally, meats are cooked with bone and skin attached to take advantage of natural gelatin. The meats are then cooled and deboned. There could be more cooking, or extra aspic added, or maybe a very moderate degree of seasoning, but nothing fancy. The terrine-like yanggao is then cut and served. Tripes may be served after simple boiling as well, but to mix things up, we have daxuan chao yangdu, tripe and garlic stir-fry, as shown here. Other than the tripes, we have another offal on the table. This is Chinese steamed egg, but in lieu of typical ingredients, typical add-ons like dried shrimp or minced pork, we got sheep brain here. In this Yangnao Dundan steamed egg with sheep brain, the eggs are super soft. So soft I couldn't pick up any with chopsticks and have to resort to using spoon. Delightful texture, but the eggs are mere fillers. They didn't take on the flavors of the brain, which is a pity because the brain is phenomenal. Brains are often prepared with heavy spices to cover up the heavy odors. This dish is definitely on the light side in terms of seasoning, but the brain doesn't taste funky at all. Reminds me of a firm glob of luscious marrow. Cangshu mutton is very historical but continues to evolve and incorporates ideas from other cuisines. This kind of skewered mutton is more typical of northern China. There are even dishes that make use of mala, numb and spicy style of Sichuan cuisine. We plan to try some such fusions and innovations for dinner at the official time-honored brand Lake Tai after we return from a hike at nearby Tianping Mountain. The mutton is totally worth the trip, but we didn't come here just for that, but also for the fall foliage. In recent videos, I showcased the autumn colors of Nanjing, including the famous Qixia Mountain. Well, Suzhou's answer for the Qixia Mountain is here, the Tianping Mountain. Tianpingshan or Tianping Mountain is closely associated with Fan Zhongyan. Fan spent years in Suzhou and is remembered as a prominent figure of Song Dynasty. His ancestors are buried in the vicinity, and one of his descendants in Ming Dynasty introduced about 380 sweet gum trees from Fujian province. Many of these trees have survived today, and they form some of the fall foliage for which Tianping Mountain is well known. The thing is, it's actually middle of December right now, so it's the middle of winter. Autumn has arrived late this year, which is why leaf peeping timing is sort of awkward, and that's why we didn't get to see the autumn colors that we came here for. But oh well, it was a nice hike up the mountain. Now we're gonna head back to downtown Suzhou to grab some dessert. Sorry, actually a better term would be afternoon tea, which wasn't a part of the original plan. As I said earlier, we intended to try some hybrid dishes for dinner after hanging out at Tianping Mountain, but our timing was off and ended up missing the best window for autumn colors. So instead of loitering, we decided to grab afternoon tea, but more about that and another one of Suzhou's renowned sites in the next video. 再见!